That's right.
All right. Okay, we'll call the meeting to order at 3 p.m. Roll call.
Trustee Barto?
Yes.
Trustee Matoye?
Here.
Trustee Crane?
Here.
Trustee Anderson?
Here.
Trustee Ursulou?
Here.
Trustee Wygand?
Here.
Trustee Yelsey?
Here.
Superintendent Smith?
Here.
We have an adoption of the agenda, but item 15, there's no report scheduled. So may I have a motion to adopt the amended agenda without item 15?
So moved.
Second.
It has been moved by Trustee Matoye, seconded by Trustee Anderson. Roll call vote.
Trustee Barto?
Yes.
Trustee Matoye?
Yes.
Trustee Crane?
Yes.
Trustee Anderson?
Yes.
Trustee Ursulou?
Yes.
Trustee Wygand?
Yes.
Trustee Yelsey?
Yes.
Okay. Community input on closed session items. I believe we have no comments. Okay. With that, we will move into closed session. The items are 5A, conference with legal counsel, 5B, conference with labor negotiator, 5C, public employee discipline, dismissal, release, employment, and 5D, student discipline. We will return to open session at 6 p.m., move to closed session at 3:01 p.m. Call to order at 6 p.m. In closed session, the board took action to release and non-reelect 188 temporary certificated employees pursuant to Education Code Section 44954, effective at the end of the 2021-2022 school year, and directed the superintendent or designee to send out appropriate legal notices. The roll call was as follows: 7 ayes, 0 noes. We will now move to a moment of reflection and pledge of allegiance, led by Student Board Member Katie Barnes.
Ready, begin.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
All right, adoption of the minutes from 4/19/22 and 5/3/22. May I have a motion?
So moved.
May I have a second?
Second.
It was moved by Trustee Crane and seconded by Trustee Wygand. May I have a roll call vote?
Trustee Barto?
Yes?
Trustee Matoye?
Yes.
Trustee Crane?
Yes.
Trustee Anderson?
Yes.
Trustee Ursulou?
Yes.
Trustee Wygand?
Yes.
Trustee Yelsey?
Yes.
Okay. It's now our pleasure to recognize several of our employees and student athletes. We begin with recognition of winter athletic sports champions, Dr. Baumeister.
Thank you. President Bartow, members of the board, Dr. Smith, cabinet, and distinguished guests. It's my great honor tonight to present to you two more CIF champions from our winter sports season. Two programs who have distinguished themselves not only in CIF, but across the state and nationally as well. First, I'd like to recognize the Costa Mesa High School cheer squad, who have again won a CIF Southern Section Division IV co-ed cheer and state regional co-ed non-tumbling cheer championship. Wrote that down, I never would remember that. Costa Mesa Cheer has set the bar high for excellence in cheer, not only in CIF, but throughout our state and nationally. And this program has a special place in my heart, as my daughter Carly was Corey's first cheer captain at Costa Mesa High School a number of years ago. So at this time, I'd like to call up Principal Jay Cayley to introduce Coach Johnson and her CIF championship team.
So good evening, President Bartow, members of the board, Dr. Smith, executive cabinet, and distinguished guests. What an honor to be before you today to recognize really a team of a decade of dominance here at Costa Mesa, where we just simply just refill and repeat, seems to be yearly, with excellent talent, and that, of course, starts at the top. But before I introduce our coach, I really want to thank the board for their support over the years. When I think and reflect, especially the journey through COVID, we were allowed to compete virtually. And then I believe we were the first field trip out of state to go to Florida to compete in nationals. And it's that kind of commitment to students, that kind of commitment to student activities that truly makes a difference in the lives of our youth. We are so fortunate to have you and your support. So I want to thank you for that and all the support you've given the program over the years. So when I introduce Coach Corey, I think it's only a matter of time before we're going to see her in the CIF 7 section Coaches Hall of Fame. I think she's a shoo-in, and the reason why is she's been such an advocate for the sport, such an advocate for competition, and such an advocate for fairness within the sport. A few highlights before I call her up. You heard Dr. Bauermeister talk about this year, but also we are a traditional cheer co-ed Division IV champions 2019, 2020, 2022. We're the co-ed non-tumbling for 2022, national high school champions. In fact, we took 2 white coats in 2019. So without further ado, it's my pleasure to introduce our coach, Coach Corey Johnson. Coming up.
I would just like to thank Dr. Smith and the board for your recognition every year. I know you might get tired of seeing us, but we're not going to stop at any time. So it was amazing that we kind of own this division in CIF. We have won every time we've had it, and this was the first year that they had a CIF state for a traditional competitive cheer, and we won that as well as going to Florida. And thank you for allowing us to be the first field trip after COVID to go to Florida, and nobody came home sick. It was great. So it was wonderful. So my team brings great support for our district and our school, and we just love to be able to continue it on year after year. So thank you very much for recognizing these ladies. Dulce. Ariana. Grace. They are not in alphabetical order, so girls, just please listen. Jade. Kennedy. Clarice is in the play tonight, so she can't be here. Rachel. Emiko. Haley. Emma. Joanna. Faith. Alex. Anthony. Jalissa. Aaliyah. Angelina. Mila. Tessa. Emily. And Kira. Kira. So a special note, they all got their rings tonight, their first CIF rings for the season. And actually, the second ring for winning state comes in tomorrow, so we were a day late on the second ring. But so a lot of these kids, this was their first CIF. Yay. No, I don't know. Oh,
And if you could all take one step this way.
everybody wiggle over.
Ready? We're gonna take a couple.
Congratulations. That's good.
Our next CIF champion from the winter season is Newport Harbor High School girls water polo team, who won the CIF Southern Section Open Division, State Regional, and the National Championship. Coach Sinclair has also established the Sailors as a perennial power in CIF across the state and nationally. At this time, I'd like to call up Principal Bolton to introduce Coach Sinclair and the Lady Sailors. And Coach Bolton, Principal Bolton will be back shortly because they just won 2 championships in the spring season.
Yes.
So. And I think he's coming straight from the baseball field too.
And I already apologized for my attire. Please excuse my casual attire, but just came from a baseball game. We lost 3-2 in a semifinal CIF game. Heck of a run, heck of a season, and it was jam-packed. And these 2 championships this weekend were very, very exciting. Dr. Smith was at volleyball. Despite the fact that I gave you the wrong time and the wrong address, you still made it there. So you overcame poor leadership. Shows you the kind of superintendent we hired, so fantastic.
Doesn't give up.
But President Bartow, members of the board, Dr. Smith, executive cabinet, and distinguished guests, this is a very special CIF championship because we won 2 CIF championships in water polo, one with the boys' side, one with the girls' side. This CIF championship, unlike our others, it was total dominance, 29-1. They never trailed in a CIF playoff game. The final was my kind of final where I could watch, enjoy, think about dinner, what I was going to do next. It was absolutely fantastic. But what's emblematic of our school is the fact that this team earned a 4.3 GPA. Many of the girls are going on to play Division I after the fact. 3 of the young ladies also represented their country in the Pan Am Games in Lima, Peru, 2 for the United States, 1 for their home country of Brazil. And our coach was just named USA Water Polo Coach of the Year this weekend. And so it really speaks volumes for who we are. But congratulations to all of them, and this is the 6th CIF title in girls' history. And without further ado, Coach Ross Sinclair.
Thank you, Sean. Dr. Bolton. Board, welcome. I'll be really brief. I know Dr. Bolton talked about our season. It was an amazing season. These women are, so inspiring. I have 3 daughters of my own, and so for them to be around these young ladies all the time, it's something that I'll be forever grateful for with the inspiration they provide for my kids on a daily basis. They inspire me to be a better coach and a better person. Couldn't be more proud of them. And we have 2 actually that got invited to train with the senior national team this weekend. So I want to give them a special shout out as well. Before I bring the players up, there's 3 coaches that couldn't be here. They're alumni of Newport Harbor. I went to Newport Harbor myself. Coach Christina Beck, Coach Rachel Whiteleg, Coach Carly Capana. They played at Newport Harbor, played beyond Newport Harbor, and now they're back coaching at Newport Harbor. And so really neat to be a part of the community and come back and give back to this great program and this great community. So with that said, we're going to bring up these CIF champions. Anna Reed. Taylor Smith. Angie Peterson. Morgan Netherton. Ryan Kopnick. Avery Montiel. Kiara Amoroso. Paige Nagel. Caitlin State. McKaylee Hansberger. Pia Mantelato. Lily Guess. Alex Love. And Isabel Devilar. CIF champs, state champs, and national champs.
I need you to squeeze it a little bit more. Same with Coach. And the Bartow right behind. Perfect. Thank you.
Congratulations.
Congratulations to our winner CIF sports champions. All right, now we get to move on to recognition of 2022 Superintendent's Character Trait Award honorees. Dr. Smith.
I had a chance recently to be on a podcast with the leader, actually the mayor of Costa Mesa, and he said, what excites you most about this work? I said, we've got an amazing community, two amazing communities that are passionate about supporting our 18,000 students. We have amazing employees who are dedicated, resilient, represented here today throughout the room. And then our students are beyond compare. And you think about what we just saw there, what I saw this weekend, where they're going to school, the opportunities they have, and then now the character traits that they exemplify. I'm right sometimes. My wife's convinced not often, but I was 100% right that day, right? Amazing communities, amazing teammates, amazing students, and here are just some of them. I'm going to stand up there with President Bartow. We're going to ask the principals to come down and say a few words about these students. I told them that they needed to come tonight because the most exciting thing they can do on a Tuesday night, regardless of their streaming service, and here they are. So they knew that this was the place to be. And the pillars, just so you know, are caring, citizenship, courage, fairness, responsibility, respect, and trustworthiness. Who in this room thinks we need more of that around us today, right? So let's recognize these amazing students that exemplify that. President Bartow, if you'll help me. Yeah. He's on his way. Okay. First, we have Back Bay. So Back Bay, come on down.
Good evening, President Bartow, Superintendent Dr. Smith, Vice President Matoye, Board Trustees, Executive Cabinet, and Cabinet. It is my honor to stand before you and speak on the character trait of respect and Back Bay High School class of 21-22 graduating senior, Nicole Sullivan. Nicole came to us during her sophomore year at a time in her life that she would not have been recognized for the character trait of respect. In her early days at Back Bay High School, Nicole's teacher and I battled with her over concerns regarding positive choices related to attendance and behavior and expectations. It was at that time that Nicole established a connection with her dance teacher, Miss Cami Marseille. And that connection helped and guided Nicole to create a new path for herself. During the summer between her sophomore and junior year, Nicole's mindset began to shift, and she started to not only respect herself, she began to respect everyone at school, and our experiences and relationship with Nicole became extremely positive. My experiences and my respect for Nicole at school went from, oh boy, here she is, to the exact opposite, where I would see her in the hallway and during breaks or between classes, and I would go out of my way to say good morning to her and give her a high five in the hallways as she made her way around campus. Nicole found respect when she needed it most, and I feel confident that she will continue to value the goodness that comes from giving and getting respect both interpersonally as well as with her peers. The Back Bay staff is very proud of Nicole, and we look forward to hearing from her in the future as she is about to start a new chapter in her life. Nicole plans to attend OCC, where she will study interior design as well as fine arts. Nicole Sullivan.
Now we have Newport-Mesa High School.
There she is.
I knew she's here.
Close to the front row.
You bet. You bet. So it's an honor again to be up in front of you to talk about our character award. And we were given citizenship at Costa Mesa High School, and a little bit about our process. And then I'll talk about Sophia and kind of what happened. And I know the Catanias are probably in the audience. I was talking to Sophia's sister, who graduated in 2016. She's going on for her master's at UCI in biomedical engineering. You're going to hear here about Sophia, also UCI. Catanias, please write a book so I can read it on how to parent the way you do, because it's fantastic, the accomplishments of your daughters. But our process is we Google survey our entire staff, both classified and certificated staff, have the opportunity to weigh in on a graduating senior who meets those characteristics. And after that, we look at the frequency of names and start to have dialogue discussion about who seems to kind of be raising to the top. Bring it to our counseling team, our site leadership team, and then eventually a name comes forward. And what was great about Sophia's name is it was being recognized in multiple areas. We started hearing citizenship in the classroom especially, right? What she models, and she has one of the highest GPAs. She's at our Les Miller Scholars tomorrow night, but she models integrity in everything that she does. She includes other voices, and it's apparent that students know when she's not there, she's absent, but she makes a difference each and every class that she attends. The second avenue we started noticing is out in the athletics. She's varsity letterman in swimming as well in tennis. It started to really kind of echo the same similarities of kind of citizenship that we were hearing in the classroom. And then the third, which I think begins to really define her, is the impact that she's had in our STEM, or science, technology, engineering, math. She is our club founder. She's the president of that since 2018. As you know, she is a two-time STEM on the sideline LA Charger champion for their contest. She volunteers for the Newport-Mesa Summer Engineering Academy. As I mentioned, she is graduating with a 4.57 GPA. All of those factors, as you start to really hover around and you watch her on campus, you observe her here as our school board representative, student board member. I really believe sky's the limit. I really hope you do make a run. Let me be your campaign manager for president someday, or whatever it is you want to do, because you truly are amazing, Sophia. It's been such a pleasure to watch you. So this is well-deserving. She plans to go to UCI and study mechanical engineering next year. So we couldn't be more proud of you. Way to go. Congratulations.
Let me make sure you're awake. President Bartow, members of the board, Dr. Smith, Executive Cabinet, all the fine folks behind me. If you don't consider yourself fine tonight, you have my permission. I'm going to speak from the heart, and if this comes choppy, so be it. It's been choppy the last 2.5 years, and more so for our student. The way we do it at early college high school is we've recognized our students for character for a number of years. And the last 6 years, we've had identified a senior for caring, citizenship, respect, responsibility, fairness, trustworthiness. This year, we were challenged with courage. That was new. We had to come up with what is a courageous student. We had several of them, but our staff decided on one. And this student actually received the character trait of trustworthiness as a 9th grader. When you see him stand beside me, come on up, Uriel. He was about yay high as a 9th grader, and I was looking down at him. Now you can see he has grown. The reason why our staff selected Uriel Rivera for courage is when we were in distance learning, Uriel has always been a top-notch student. And he knew he was not performing probably as well as he could his junior year at the end of that year. So we're about a year into the pandemic. Couldn't figure out what was going on. Went in for some tests, and doctors determined that he had Wegener's disease, which is a very rare form. It afflicts about 200,000 or less in the United States annually. Going through chemo, he persists through, still trying to continue the fight. I tell people it's okay to fight as long as no one gets hurt. If you fight something that's innominate and a disease, you go for it. So he continued to fight. We met with the family, worked out a plan, keep his dreams alive. He wants to thank not only his family for where he is right now, because he's still going through treatments. He's in a much better state now than he was a few months ago, and we're praying that that continues. But he also wants to thank our ASB president. They've been good friends. These guys work out together in the Marines. You know what I'm talking about. Because that Marine Academy is right down the street from us, and you know, that keeps him alive, keeps him healthy, keeps him connected with the school. So Uriel this fall is going to be going to Cal Poly Pomona to study the biological sciences. And who knows, maybe down the road, he's going to find a cure to this dang thing and whip it. But until then, you know, he's going to continue learning and keep the fight going on. So like a lot of our students at early college, he's going to be on track to complete over 300 credits, 95 of those in college units. So he has not given up the fight, and we are honored to have our first Courage senior standout in Uriel Rivera. Uriel's family, I know you're here, so you are a fine folks, the finest probably. So come on down, parents. Brother Christopher, and I believe his cousin Sydney is also here. Let's take a family photo.
Help people in the back.
Yes, thank you.
Next up, we have Newport Harbor. Dr. Ford.
President Bartow, members of the board, Superintendent Smith, Executive Cabinet, distinguished guests. Chase Dionio is our representative and Character Award winner for the Superintendent Character Award winner for fairness. And I think that the story that just encapsulates what she's all about, she was the centerpiece of our girls basketball team during the CIF run, scored 16 points in the final game, But for senior night, it's a big night. You've got family there, you've got friends there, and it's the last time you possibly play a home game at Newport Harbor High School. She gave up her starting spot on the team to another senior who rarely saw the floor and didn't play much. And I think that speaks volumes to what Chase is all about. And much like Costa Mesa High School, we go through a similar process. We include our staff, our counselors, our teachers, and Chase's name emerged over and over and over again. And she could have fit just about any one of the character traits that our superintendent put forward to nominate a student. So Chase is off to OCC to play some basketball. She's going to study hard and hopefully go to a Division I school. There's no doubt in my mind. I mean, the most casual observer can see she's a true student athlete, and she cares about students, about inclusion, about access, about all things. She's a great listener. She wants to learn multiple perspectives, hear multiple perspectives, and that's why the teachers chose her, the staff at Newport Harbor High School. We couldn't be prouder. Class of 2022, emblematic, encapsulated in Chase. So congratulations with everything, and thanks for representing this class so well in our high school.
Next up, Jordan Del Mar. We love these events, so thank you for recognizing all of these wonderful students. And I have beside me one of the greatest, Odette Ramirez, who is being recognized for the trait of responsibility from CDM. I want to start with Odette. My first introduction to her was indirectly, and I'm going to make a confession to the board tonight, and I'm sorry, but we had a request to allow 3 students to come work on our campus while we were shut down. There were circumstances that made it so that they needed a place to go, and they were the only 3 students. They had the LRC to themselves, but we allowed Odette and her siblings to come to school and start working at CDM, and that was the first seed that was planted in my mind about who Odette was. There are all sorts of circumstances in our lives that lead us to where we go, and one of my favorite sayings, unfortunately it's posted at Newport Harbor High School, but one of my favorite sayings says, "You cannot control the winds, but you can adjust the sails." And I think that's so true in our lives. And Odette is one of those individuals that truly adjusted the sails to ensure that she continued making progress. Odette came to us a year behind in school for different reasons. And at a time when most students were making excuses, where we were looking at ways to, excuse credits and find reasons to be understanding and compassionate, but to lower the bar, Odette was able to actually increase her credit output. She was able to do a year and a half of school in a year and get caught up to the point where she needed to be able to graduate with her class. Now that happened while she continued to support her mom. Odette has a job. Odette's responsible for laundry. She's responsible for cooking meals at her house. She does her homework with her brother. And I have to tell you, if there was another trait for humility, she'd be right up here for that as well. And one of the things that she mentioned to me when we had a chance to talk for a few minutes was that she's in the same math class as her brother. But she appreciates that because she's able to help him with his homework because she's working on the same things he's working on. And that's the kind of outlook she has on life. I've also recently had an opportunity after when you get to know a student and you recognize their face, you start seeing them everywhere. Well, I noticed I check kids out when they go out of the office. They don't leave without permission during lunchtime. But Odette came up and I recognized her and she brought her sister with her. And then we just started this little passing thing. And I see her and her sister leave for lunch every day at lunchtime, come back for the next class. And I'm just so proud of Odette. So when we think about all the amazing students at CDM and all of the wonderful accomplishments that they are deserving of, Odette rises to the top in demonstrating what it truly means to be responsible. We're so proud of Odette. Her teachers came here tonight to support her. Her counselors here to support her. Her mom and sister, brother? mom and sister here supporting her, but her brother's practicing football, and if you know Coach O'Shea, there's no way he would have let him out of that for anything. It's just the way it works. But we're very proud and grateful to be able to recognize Odette tonight. So thank you for this honor.
I don't read so well. We started with Back Bay. We need Cloud Campus up here. Cloud Campus, come on up.
Yay.
Good evening, Superintendent Dr. Smith, President Bartow, Vice President, Trustees, Executive Cabinet, and guests. I am so proud tonight to introduce our student, Angela Gao from Cloud Campus. I couldn't think of a better student to represent the quality of caring. Angela chooses to live her life for the betterment of the world around her. She is bright, cheerful, and completely selfless. During the past 5 years, Angela has demonstrated her strong sense of humanitarianism by being actively involved in the Tibetan nonprofit Good Vision Trip. She volunteers for this organization by raising funds on Chinese social media, placing orders for medical materials, coordinating volunteer ophthalmologists to provide free cataract surgeries for local people of Yoshu in the Qinghai province of China. She says the smiles of the Tibetan patients and orphanage children bring her true happiness and fulfillment. She uses her own personal resources to adopt a student in Hunan, China, by paying for her schooling. Angela's philanthropic attitude was further demonstrated as when the response to the global pandemic, she started a GoFundMe page which raised $1,300 for a hospital in Wuhan. She even uses her impressive academic knowledge to volunteer as a tutor for the Nepal Club, where she gives online lectures to students in Nepal. Angela takes every opportunity to advocate for the underprivileged. She has chosen to study statistics and data analysis in college and has been accepted to UC Santa Barbara as well as the University of Illinois Urbana-Champaign because she believes that education and technology have the power to improve the quality of life for people, create more opportunity in our society, influence resource allocation to help the disadvantaged. Angela is a leader, a world changer, and a true representative of the word caring. Congratulations, Angela.
Then Estancia High School.
Dr. Smith, trustees, I apologize for my appearance and running a little bit late. Lily and I were both at the Estancia baseball game, but she's being recognized for the character trait of trustworthiness, and you can tell that she's a lot more trustworthy than I am. She actually left on time to go home and change. But Lily, I'd like to let you know that despite your absence, Estancia won in the 11th inning with a walk-off win. So. I love this evening. It's a wonderful opportunity to celebrate our students and also be inspired by them. Hearing the stories of our students and what they're able to do is truly amazing. And Lily's one of those students. She's being recognized for trustworthiness, which I will say is my personal favorite, because to me, trustworthiness means more than just being honest and reliable. It's about the personal integrity that you have in the way that you conduct yourself every day. It's the one character trait that I believe reflects who you are as a person, not just simply the amazing things that you do. And Lily is an amazing person who's going to go on and do great stuff after she leaves Estancia. She's been accepted to Cal, where she plans to continue her studies. And we know, there's no doubt she'll return to our community and do great things here. We followed a similar process to Costa Mesa and Newport, where we surveyed the teachers looking for input on who embodies trustworthiness and integrity. And Lily's name was one that rose to the top quickly. One of the staff members even said, "She is the only young person, including family members, who I would trust with the key to my house." And so, Lily, I say, party at Miss Sticky's. Now, she is the president of our ASB. She's a member of our Best Buddies. She approaches every task with a smile on her face, and she completes every task to the best of her ability. That quality of being able to do both those things, be so reliable, be so true to yourself, speaks volumes to the young person that she is and the amazing person that she will be. It's been an honor working with you for the last 4 years, and I look forward to hearing the great things that you do upon your return.
It's right there. It's for somebody.
As our president gets back to her seat, we all lovingly refer to this time of year as smile season, and now you know why.
All right. Next, we are so delighted to recognize our board certified teacher, Leona Olson.
President Bartow, members of the board, Superintendent Smith, distinguished guests, and I truly mean distinguished guests. I've never been in a room, I don't think, of so many talented, smart, wonderful students, and what a pleasure to see all of them out up here, so poised, knowing what they can do and what they have accomplished. And I also want to congratulate their parents, because we can't miss that one, right? The other group that our students they are grown from our classrooms. They are supported from our teachers, and every now and then we are blessed having a very talented, bright, dedicated person that just rises to the top. So I'm going to introduce to you Megan Vick. If you can come on up, Megan. Look at her than me, so we're going to make sure that she's here with me. So Megan actually began serving our students as a science specialist at Harborview back in 2012, and since 2016 she has served our children at Newport Coast and currently teaches 6th grade. And tonight we are recognizing her for a symbol of commitment and excellence in teaching, and that is the National Board Certification. National Board Certification is a very, very rare certification in our country. And it began several years ago. And to date, in California, there are only 2.8% of our certificated teachers in California with this certificate. And for those of you who want to know, well, what does that mean? There are 260,000 certificated teachers in the state, and so she is in that top 2.8%. And she is joining our other 16 teachers in Newport-Mesa. Again, this is rare. This doesn't happen all the time. So The National Board was developed to really advance the teaching profession, to acknowledge the work that people do, and it truly is the highest certification that you can gain. It's a very rigorous program. It's based on a portfolio. It is based on test exams that they need to complete, and it really surrounds the work of their practice. So you really have to love your practice to do this program. And Megan has done that. So she has achieved this certificate through the dedication and love of teaching, but more importantly, the love of students. And that's why she is here with us tonight. And we recognize her for all of her work that she has done to join this elite group of professionals. I'm going to ask Megan's family as well as Principal Summer's going to come on up and join us. Oh.
Good job, Megan.
All right, and now we are honored to recognize Excellence in School Nursing, Sarah Jockum.
All right, let's keep this happy train moving, right? Whoop, whoop. So I'm really excited to be here tonight. Well, good evening, Board, President Bartow, Dr. Smith, expanded cabinet, extended cabinet, executive cabinet, and all of the distinguished guests in the audience. I'm very happy to have such a happy crowd in here tonight to do all of these celebrations. So I'm here tonight to honor 3 of our members of health services, and they have received honors from the Orange County School Nurses Association. So first I'd like to call up Susan Curtin. So Susan Curtin was awarded the Readiness Nurse of the Year for excellence in school readiness nursing. And she served as a school readiness nurse in early childhood education for more than 10 years. She's recognized as a leader, always prepared for what is needed to serve students. She's collaborative and often mentors fellow nurses and student nurses. As a credentialed school nurse and pediatric nurse practitioner, she trains our staff in CPR, first aid, the automated external defibrillator, the AED, and stop the bleed. She exemplifies what we think of as a nurturing, caring, compassionate, and professional nurse. And she consistently holds students as her priority. So congratulations on this award. So our second honor is going to go to, do you want to do one picture?
No.
Go ahead.
No,
Well,
no,
we'll put
no.
it together.
Doctor, okay. You have to be in that picture, though. Yeah.
Yes. When we're ready for you, you have to come back up. So our second honoree is Christy Craig. And she's being awarded the School Nurse of the Year for Excellence in School Nursing. And so Christy joined our district nearly 3 years ago, and she quickly became a valuable nurse, as you could hear behind me, Costa Mesa High School and Middle School. And she prioritizes building relationships and connections with students and their family. She goes above and beyond to address student needs, including both their physical and mental health. Additionally, throughout the COVID pandemic, and that's how I got to meet Christy, was all of this COVID, she was instrumental in contact tracing and working closely with the athletic department and student athletes. She focuses on fostering a healthy environment for students and staff, and she's recognized for her ability to foster collaborative partnerships and is a great resource for her school. Congratulations, Christy. And then I'd like to call up Mary Groska. So Mary has been awarded the School Nurse Administrator of the Year award. And Mary has been with the district for more than 30 years, and she is a nationally certified family nurse practitioner. Throughout her tenure, she's actively served on boards of professional nursing, public health, and school-based health center associations. As the Director of Health Services, she is responsible for the oversight of all school health services employees and programs district-wide. She is responsive to the needs of students and employees, always providing support and encouragement as staff continually develop in their professional roles to support students' needs. And then it says during this past year, but really it's been during the past, since COVID started, she has been instrumental in working with the school nurses, and not only within our own district, but countywide, to really develop common standards, guidelines, and really has helped us really face the COVID pandemic and allowed kids to come back to school. Very instrumental in that. Sorry. So Mary's also in the past been recognized as the National School Nurse of the Year. She's a fierce advocate, and the reason that I'm tearing up is that Mary has decided to retire at the end of this year, and I know that she is a unicorn, and she's going to have really tough shoes to fill, but we are so happy for this award for you.
Sweetest person.
Thank you. And now we move to recognize Newport-Mesa Unified School District's 2020 and 2022 Classified School Employee of the Year recipients.
Yes, if you don't mind, I'm going to introduce Kristen Clark, our Administrative Director 1 at Classified, who puts this program together and ensures that our classified employees are recognized. You will notice that this year there is 2020 and 2022 because in between with COVID, we kind of slowed down a bit.
We shut down, and so we shut down in 2020. So
correct.
We weren't able to.
So I will turn that over to Kristen.
Oh, thank you. Besides the smiles, it's the crying. So, I mean, I have Kleenex in my sleeve here because these kids are amazing and just our employees. I mean, so, and tonight you're going to hear about some more amazing classified employees. So President Bartow, members of the Board of Education, and Dr. Smith, tonight we're recognizing 4 employees as part of the California Classified School Employee of the Year program. The overall purpose of the program is to identify and honor exemplary classified employees. And at Newport-Mesa, our classified employees are vital members of our school community. They play key roles in creating a positive school environment that helps promote student achievement. This evening, I'm pleased to assist the board, along with Personnel Commissioner Susan Meyer, in honoring our 2020 and 2022 Classified Employees of the Year. First, I'll begin with somebody who's been with us with 28 years, I might say, of distinguished service with the district. This Classified Employee of the Year is said to epitomize exceptional customer service and possesses a seemingly endless list of skills and strengths that impress and endear her to the Anderson Elementary School community. She excels as the Director of First Impressions, warmly welcoming anyone and everyone who enters the school. She commits to not just familiarizing herself with every Anderson student and family who come to know her as the school mom, but also builds trust with each student, helping children feel important, heard, and welcomed. In addition to these important qualities, she attends nearly all school events, volunteers for many roles both during and after school. She assists custodians with event setups, assists in the nurse's office, is part of the unofficial welcoming committee that visits new students at their homes each summer, implemented a system to smoothly and effectively handle a large volume of weekly volunteers, provides invaluable advice and guidance to office managers across the district, and supports the school administrator by often resolving issues on her own. It is a pleasure to recognize this highly regarded member of the Anderson community. Congratulations, School Administrative Assistant Kathy Kiddo. And Kathy is also retiring this year, so it's another double. We'll let them take their pictures and then we'll get into it. I'm sorry, I didn't see them right there. Yeah? Yeah, I can take a picture. Gives you
flowers.
Thank you. Okay, our next recognition is having a significant positive impact on an entire school community is a rare and treasured gift, but one this classified employee of the year maintains through a unique combination of skills, temperament, and hard work. His collaborative style of involving all affected parties and ubiquitous presence on campus at school events and activities translates into being frequently sought out by students for help with personal issues, relied upon by administrators and staff who value his professionalism, close connections with students, mentoring abilities, and positive impact on the school culture, and respected by parents for his proactive approach to solving potential campus issues. Approachable and trusted by students for his non-judgmental advice and ability to help them think through their individual issues and to find common ground and pragmatic solutions when interacting with others, rather than attempting to solve their problems for them, this remarkable employee has become an exceptional role model and valued sounding board. In addition to his role at Ensign, he is a Newport-Mesa alum, graduating from Estancia High School, where he also serves as a coach for the girls and boys water polo and swim teams. He is passionate about sports and loves having the opportunity to extend his connection to students in both middle school and high school. The district is proud to recognize this outstanding employee. Congratulations, Campus Safety Facilitator Frank Amboa. And you can give those to somebody?
His wife is right here.
Who doesn't like sunflowers? Dr. Mike Scheifa was the principal at the time when we actually did this recognition originally, so I'm glad that you're here to see this. All right. Calm, reassuring, kind, helpful, compassionate. These are but a few of the words used to describe this classified employee of the year. The challenges posed by the pandemic were especially difficult for health services employees, but also an opportunity to shine for this exceptional staff member. She helped manage campus COVID cases through contact tracing protocols and constant self-education of the evolving guidelines. which she then clearly and concisely explained to staff, students, and parents. Her remarkable ability to de-escalate tense parent and student interactions during the demanding and stressful pandemic period have been invaluable to the Anderson Elementary School community. This exemplary employee is both efficient and thorough in completing tasks, has been quick to volunteer, continues to be an esteemed mentor to health assistants throughout the district, and is a trusted confidant to both coworkers and students alike. Her commitment to serving the community is exemplified by her participation in a pilot program for students with diabetes, developed to help prevent long-term complications from the ailment. She expended considerable time and energy in both learning the system and helping parents understand how it works, and her efforts have paid off, as it has helped reduce the anxiety of parents with diabetic children and is illustrative of the level of commitment and compassion this Employee of the Year brings to the job every day. Please congratulate Health Assistant Karen Weir.
Wait, there's more.
All right. With nearly 30 years of experience in nutrition services with the district, this classified Employee of the Year has more than earned her place as an integral part of the Pomona Elementary School family. Kind, considerate, compassionate, and understanding, this remarkable employee has been a positive influence in the lives of students she greets by name and with words of encouragement each and every day, building relationships that endure. This is exemplified by the steady stream of older students who return to visit her throughout the year. Dedicated to the children and their families, she worked throughout the pandemic to make sure students were fed properly, taking the time and effort to learn about the families of each student so she could anticipate their daily needs. Well known within the community, she is able to notice when families are in need and gently offers support, often connecting them with school or outside resources. Quietly and unfailingly, this employee takes care of all of the operational details of serving meals to the students of Pomona. Savvy and inquisitive, the entire district benefits from her discerning and perceptive questions about the efficiency and safety protocols implemented in the kitchen. The team at her site refer to the kitchen as the campus's living room. Now, that's not because its physical location or the amenities there. It's because it is a warm place where everyone is welcome, a direct result of the environment that she helped create. Congratulations, Nutrition Services Assistant 2, Maria Lupe Queen Martinez. Oh, I love your shoes. Okay, wait, we're gonna take this. Oh, yeah. All right, I just wanted to close by thanking the Board of Education, Dr. Smith, and our Personnel Commission for their commitment to this important program and for the opportunity that you've provided us to congratulate them there and recognize. Thank you.
Thank you. So we're going to do the student board member reports, but first we would like to give recognitions to all of our student board members for the great work they've done this year.
And as we work our way down to down there, I'll talk from here if you'll grab the bag, and then we'll swap. Our student board members have given up Tuesday nights every 3 weeks since their selection in August. They had to fill out a rigorous application process, endure a Zoom interview with 2 to 5 members of the board, and then they get to meet with Mrs. Bartow for the first half of the year and me. So their teacher changed midterm, and they have 2 teachers. It's been my pleasure to serve as their the school board member representative for our school board members. They poll their students. They come with great responses. One of the first comments our brand new superintendent, Dr. Smith, commented was, now that's information we can use and act on. Now that makes the work that they do meaningful and important. So at this time, we'd like to celebrate and bring them all up. The only ones that aren't here are homesick because more than COVID exists. So I'll be right back.
Sophia. Katie Marty. Dylan. Katie Dodge. And Kate Terry. Okay.
All right, so now we will move on to student board member reports. Our report topic was, what would students like to see implemented for the 2022-2023 school year? We'll start with Corona Del Mar High School, Katie Barnes.
Hello, members of the board, President Bartow, and Superintendent. I'm honored to be here this evening. This week, we were asked to address what students would like to see implemented for the upcoming school year. When I asked students on the CDM campus this question, I primarily received 3 responses. Firstly, they wanted to become more aware of the resources on campus. Many students were not aware of specific clubs or events on the CDM campus this year. For example, CDM recently offered a college webinar where seniors spoke out on what to do and what not to do when applying to college. We later received feedback that not many students knew about the event. My solution is CDM could post a weekly schedule online highlighting important events, from dances to counseling appointments availability. We could also offer a resource informational page including club, NHS tutoring meeting informations, or tips on how to prepare for the SAT. We could also post information about how to reach the school, nurse, psychologist, and other workers and resources. I believe students need more emotional support from teachers, faculty, and parents alike. Students need a strong support system in order to understand what's going on through and how, on campus. The pandemic left a lasting effect on students' work ethic, mental health, and identity, as well as how they cope and deal with various aspects of life. Kids seem to be more vulnerable. This could be accomplished with the help of more teacher involvement, volunteer liaisons, on-campus resources like counselors, and programs like One on Campus. Another implementation students want to receive next year is the expansion of the access to parking on parking lots. In this upcoming year, we plan to make parking permits available to all students. Parking permits will be issued on a first-come, first-served basis. This will have many benefits. We are excited for next year. Thank you for giving me the opportunity to report tonight.
Thank you. Our next speaker would be Kate Cherry from Newport Harbor. The reason we honored our students tonight is we came to the realization this is their last board meeting because our next board meeting is after they graduate or promote, and we won't make anybody come back after that.
Good evening, Superintendent Smith, President Bartow, and members of the board. This month, student board members were asked to report on what they would like to see change for next year and what the board could help with that. As we finish this school year, students are very much looking forward to the next year and have lots of feedback to offer. Many students stated that they would love it if schools offered more free tutoring services in person in various subjects. At Newport Harbor, we are fortunate enough to have free math tutoring available, but students also see this as an opportunity to expand the service towards other subjects. Others said that they think it would be good to have more user-friendly guidance with Schoology, as many still do not entirely understand how the software works. At Harbor, we have a refillable water stations, but we only have one, so students feel that adding another could be a much improvement, both environmentally and for students. Other things that students that I asked wished to see were more advertising of the mental health resources that are already in place, such as programs that we have on campus, as well as psychologists, because like Katie was saying, a lot of them just don't know really how to access those. More support and guidance through the college application and admissions process, and teachers also stated that more Chromebook chargers available in classrooms could be really helpful for student learning. And also funds to renovate and improve certain aspects on campus, such as school bathrooms, as we have a lot of issues with those, especially at Newport Harbor recently. We appreciate everything that the board has done for us recently, but we also feel that there's ways that we could always improve upon to create an even better school environment that we already have. Thank you.
Thank you, Kate. Our next assigned board members were from Back Bay, and they're the ones that are homesick. So Nicole, Dane, or Sophia, are any of you prepared to offer some extra info? Dane is always, we can count on Dane. But Sophia and Nicole, if you have something, feel free to come up next. Thank you.
Good evening, Superintendent Smith, President Bartow. This is a little impromptu, so I'll keep it short. When I asked students around campus this question, I mean, the majority of answers I got were regarding our theater, since it's such like an up in the air topic right now. Many of them just wanted like construction to start as fast as it could. Other students wanted more green space on campus. But one big thing I did hear was they want lunch tables back in the common area, because we used to be able to eat lunch in there, and we haven't had tables in there. But besides that, not much. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Dane. That's good. Nicole, Sophia? No, okay. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for your year of service. President Bartow and I enjoyed our time working with you, and the rest of the board is always jealous when they don't get to work with you too. So thank you very much. Have great summers, and you're not done yet. There's still 4 weeks left of school, but lucky for you, no board meetings. Thank you very much, Mrs.
Thank you. It was a real delight to work with all of you. Moving on to Harbor Council PTA report, Lisa Buller.
Good evening, President Bartow, trustees, Dr. Smith, cabinet, and guests. At the end of last month, sorry.
Point it to your face.
How's that? At the end of last month, we attended California State PTA Convention. It was local in Ontario, and there were attendees from all across the state. We heard from several fabulous speakers, one of whom was the 2022 California Teacher of the Year, Alondra Diaz, a third grade elementary teacher from Lake Forest, which was very inspiring. We also heard from a former school counselor, Lori Woodley Langendorf, who has developed a social emotional learning curriculum for the larger education and parent communities. Her talk was so inspirational that we took her workshop the following day. One main point from her was the importance of social connections and how they can lower anxiety and depression. And she said that went from us as adults all the way down to our kids. And her talk was so engrossing and also had hands-on participation that no one even noticed that she went well over her allotted time period. And all of a sudden, when we came out of the class, there was nobody around because everybody else had gone to lunch. So she was fabulous. And our other speaker was Anna King, the National PTA President. She came and stayed for the four days of convention. She challenged us to continue to grow our membership, so we will be bugging you all next year to join. And she also thanked us and encouraged us to keep up the good work PTA does on behalf of all children. We voted on a resolution to have plant-based food options on our school menus so that people with all kinds of allergies can have options and not have to do without, or look at the food and go, oh, gee, it looks great, but I can't eat it. So that passed at our state convention. It will move on to the national convention. If it passes there, it will go on to the legislature to hopefully get some traction behind it. And the person who brought that forward was, which reminds me of you guys, a high school student PTA board member at the state level. So that was really, and when she got up to give her speech, just like you do, I am so jealous of how all of you are so calm and just perfect in your speaking. So that was even more important. We had lots of workshops to choose from, everything from compliance and keeping our units on the right side of the IRS to insurance, bylaws, finance. Plus we had engagement, leadership, arts, and mental health topics, and many, many more. We were a small but mighty group from Harbor Council. We represented 3 of our schools, Ensign, Newport Harbor, and Back Bay Monte Vista. We had 5 Harbor Council board members and 1 school board member with us. And next year it will be held in Sacramento. We hope to have another well-attended group. And we're happy to share any of the information we received with you guys. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Because they haven't left yet. Student board members, if you wrote down what you just reported on, could you email it to Mrs. Fish or myself so that we can get it to your principal so that they know exactly what you said? Thank you.
All right, thank you. Moving on to our CSEA and NFFT president's comments. CSEA President Pam Saunders.
Good evening, Board President Bartow, School Board, Superintendent Dr. Wes Smith, Cabinet, and guests. CSEA appreciates this opportunity to speak tonight. As we are gearing down for the end of the school year, we would like to thank our classified employees with our ongoing appreciation for their hard work as we enter Classified School Employees Week. We are looking forward to Superintendent Wes Smith's visit to our chapter meeting in June. Transportation celebrated our bus drivers on April 21st, and they were very well recognized. CSEA scholarships were presented at our May chapter meeting, and we will be recognizing them at the school board meeting in June. We are celebrating Classified School Employees Week this week. Our Classified Employees of the Year are being recognized tonight, and we would like to acknowledge them also. Kathy Kiddo at Anderson, Frank Gamboa at Ensign, Maria Kuhn Martinez, Nutrition Services at Pomona, and Karen Ware, Health Assistant at Anderson. we'd like to congratulate the Classified Employees of the Year. I hope everyone celebrates and enjoys the upcoming Memorial Day holiday. Take care and stay safe. Thank you from CSEA Chapter 18.
Thank you. And now NMFT President Sarah Allwater.
Good evening, President Bartow, board members, Superintendent Smith, and cabinet members. It's good to be able to speak to you tonight. Today, I want to start by saying how much all of the teachers, special ed teachers, counselors, behavioral specialists, librarians, social workers, nurses, psychologists, TOSAs, SLPs, and all the service providers are appreciated by everyone, but in particular tonight, NMFT. Educator Appreciation Week has come and gone, but I wanted to take this opportunity to let you know the work you do is recognized, it's integral, and that you are awesome. It was great to attend the Teacher Grants Dinner and Teacher of the Year recognition last week and see so many people celebrating the work and accomplishments of you all. I also want to acknowledge it's been a difficult year, and from our office and e-board and our executive director, we hope you wrap up this year with a lot of silver lining in the form of celebrations and fun activities with your students, enjoying end-of-year successes and accomplishments and growth with the ones whom you do it all for. Next, I want to say that we're glad that the district special ed task force is underway, and I look forward to attending the next meeting. I can't report out how it went because we had our site rep meeting yesterday, but I will have Sandy Gordon, who's on the e-board and on the task force, catch me up. I also understand that the task force is limited in size, so I want to submit an item that there are some safety concerns at one of the school sites, and I'll reach out to Sarah and let her know more. But I needed to mention it here because of the limited size, the teachers were not selected for the task force, and they'd been very much looking forward to talking about that issue, and they had stated that they had brought it up before. And so they're very concerned. So I will reach out to Sarah. Thank you very much.
Thank you. That brings us to community input on non-agendized items.
This is an opportunity for the public to address the board regarding items not on the regular meeting agenda. Comments on non-agenda topics are limited to 3 minutes per comment to 20 minutes per topic. As a speaker may not relinquish his or her time to another person, by order of the Brown Act, Section 54954.2, the board will take no action nor have any discussion on non-agendized items. The superintendent may provide clarification during superintendent's comments.
Thank you. We have 5 comments, and so each will get 3 minutes. We start with Christopher Ganier.
Thank you, President Bartow. I appreciate you pronouncing my name correctly. I'm Christopher R. Ganier. I was on the Citizens Oversight Committee for the Sonora Elementary School. In that one, they remodeled the school to take it from what it was to one that had air conditioning. So all of you know, I'm also running for Board of Education, Trustee Area 2. And I'd like to speak about a matter of focus. This Board of Trustees has a duty to focus on education spending on the needs of this community. Now, I've learned from attending these meetings that the superintendent and the board wants to expend every effort to qualify or to provide an opportunity to qualify for every student for college admission. What a great idea. But wait, I have also learned from the board that the graduating seniors, 67% meet this goal, which that's pretty good. But wait, there's more. The capacity of California schools is only 33% of graduating seniors. That leaves 34% of Newport-Mesa students out of luck. And stigmatized by their classmates, teachers, and administrators. What can this board do? A simple internet search reveals that 37% of adults here in Orange County do not have college or have college degrees, and that means the rest of them don't. So there's a valid path to adulthood outside of college. This board can pass a shall issue work permit resolution for all students in high school. That way they can get a jump on the competition for those that are in that 67% that aren't going to make it to college straight out of high school. They could also cut back on homework so students could get some sleep and maybe actually go to those jobs and get some experience and get the jump on everyone else. You know, I attended schools, public schools, like the ones here. And I went to college, but I didn't go the year I graduated. I had other things that I needed to do. I had to get prepared. I had to mature. I had to get a focus that I really wanted to go to college. And I think that that is just as important for these students today to learn, is that they can still be an adult, they can still be a contributing member of society, even if they don't get into college the day they graduate. Thank you, and vote for me.
All right, next we've got Sarah Simcoe on topic of special education.
Good evening, President Bartos, Superintendent Smith, members of the board, executive cabinet, and guests. My biggest purpose as an educator is to help those I teach become their very best self. I strive to adequately provide the necessary support and services for my students, as I know many of my fellow colleagues do, whether they're in special education or they're in general education. Teachers can provide those adequate supports if they have the necessary tools in their toolbox to be successful. Here are some ways the district can provide adequate support and services for our students while adhering to the board priorities number 2 and 3. Expand whole child support and more meaningfully communicate and engage with constituents. BI and IA support for students across programs is crucial. It is worrisome as an educator to know that the demand is high and the supply is very low. We cannot do our job without their support. The ways that the district can help seek new applicants include advertise, use social media platforms, use our district social media. Many applicants use social media platforms to find new jobs. Recently, I heard about district specialists going to pass out flyers at OCC. This is a step in the right direction. We need to provide incentives, such as Classified School Employee Summer Assistance Program. And I want to acknowledge that a survey went out in July 2021 during the summer, but it would be nice to have an interest form go out during the 10-month classified employee contract time while they are still utilizing their email. Let's find cost-effective ways to incentivize while adhering to our district budget. Who doesn't want free money? District special support, autism, psychologists, and behavioral special support who help our special education students across programs. Many of our specialists are doing 2 to 4 people jobs. We need district specialists to provide evidence-based training and strategies for both special education teacher staff and general education teachers. When we're looking at the Special Education Task Force, this should include Starfish and Seahorse Special Education Preschool. The first 5 years are crucial to the development of the child, and it provides the building stones of success in elementary school. When we look at programs, they need to be self-contained classes from the preschool, the elementary school, all the way to general education in elementary school. The task force should include BIs, IAs, self-contained teachers from various programs, general education teachers, and administrators. And the committee list should be public for public knowledge. These are necessary to expand whole child support and more meaningfully communicate and engage with our constituents. Just as Rita Pearson stated in a TED Talk, every child needs a champion. Give us the tools to support our students so we can be their champion. Thank you.
Thank you. Next we have Flo Martin.
Being here tonight brings back so many memories. My kids started at College Park School and finished at Costa Mesa High School. And their closest friends, they're now in their 50s, are still from those school days, as Charlene will testify to. I also was a teacher at Sonora School and CDM High School, but I'm not here for that tonight. I'm a member of the Costa Mesa Active Transportation Committee, and there is a subcommittee called the Safe Routes to School. Members of this subcommittee are David Martinez, Jim Erickson, Kirk Bauermeister, and Rick Huffman. This subcommittee did a detailed walk audit of the safe routes to school for Sonora, Paularino, College Park, Kaiser, Woodland, Killybrook, Wilson, Victoria, Ray, and Pomona Elementary School. Several months ago, the chair, Jim Erickson, presented a slideshow to the entire committee, including me. The subcommittee's findings were: safe route maps were last updated 12 years ago. There are no safe routes for middle and high school. Not enough people know that there are such things as safe routes to school. The subcommittee's recommendations: update the safe routes to school before September of this year. Provide district outreach to all site level administrators, principals, PTA, ASB. Provide formal support for site level education before Walk to School Day, October the 5th of this year. See you there, Charlene.
She's writing it down.
Designate safe routes to school for middle and high school by June of next year. The subcommittee also describes specific improvements at the various schools. I have a copy of the slide presentation if you would like to have a copy, because there are maps for the elementary schools they visited with all kinds of information that they added to each of the maps. Thank you.
Thank you. Next, we have Erica V.
Hello. Hello, good evening, board members. I have something to give you. Can I give that to him? Perfect. I have one copy for everybody. Thank you.
We're going to start. Hold one moment. We're going to start that.
Oh, sorry.
Thank you. Thank you.
Hi, my name is Erica Villalpando. I am a mother and I am a teacher and I'm a community member of Costa Mesa in this district. I'm here to just bring something to light. I'm not sure if the community is aware, the board members are aware, but I've just passed out some sheets here on these wonderful books that are at the Wilson School Library. Now, the Wilson Elementary School is 99% Hispanic. They're a very hardworking community. They don't have a high education or little education, so I am here to be their voice, and you can flip the pages. I won't read them out loud, but yeah, I wouldn't want to. I wouldn't want to read them. And we have our K through sixth graders at Wilson Elementary looking at these books, and they're all listed here. And if any parents would like to see this outside in a little bit, I will have copies for you. But again, the proficiency of reading at Wilson Elementary is 33%, and yet this is the quality of reading that these kids are getting here. So again, I just, as a community member and a teacher, it's very concerning that at an elementary school that there is this in their hands. And honestly, I don't know if they're at other schools in our district, so maybe we need to pay a little more attention to that. But again, as a Spanish speaker and many parents who want to be here to speak for their child, I was here for them today because they, could not approach you because of the language barrier, or they're just intimidated, or they just don't know how to approach you. But again, I'm just being an advocate here for the kids at Wilson Elementary. I also teach these kids over at the Wilson Learning Center. So these are kids that I see on a daily basis. So please, we could do better. We can do better than this. So let's take a look at our libraries, and let's take a look at our curriculum, and let's take a look at what we're actually teaching our kids. And maybe some of the parents might not be paying attention, but I am, and there are others who are educated and who are willing to speak on their behalf. So thank you very much.
Thank you. Next, we have Rosa Mejia.
Hello, good evening. My name is Rosa Mejia. I am a mother of 4 kids, which 3 of them attend Wilson School. I am against this book. Like she said, I'm a little nervous. I've never been here, but I'm here for my kids. I am concerned about the book that my kids are reading. I do not know how these books got here to our school. I just want them out of the library. This book is called Flamer. It's one of the books that it's an LGBTQ book we found at Wilson. I bought this book, I read it. This book, I read it, was terrifying, disgusting for me. I just can't imagine the kids who read them, what they're going through. What good benefits does this book bring to our kids? When I read it, this book talks more about profanity, sexual reference, violence. Those are things that not in elementary. We're talking about an elementary school. We don't want teach our kids bad stuff at an elementary school. These kids are from 5 to 11 years old. These kids are not ready to read young books, because this is a young book. Even though it says it's a 3.2 level, it's a young book. It's rated for grade 9 to 12. It should not be in elementary school. I just don't think it should be in any school, no matter what. I have nothing against the LGBTQ members, but they have the rights. I think that we should have a right to what our kids are reading. Why are we, the parents, the last ones to know that there's these kinds of books in our kids' libraries? There's 27 of books, not just this one. There's 27 more different books at Wilson School. How long have they been there? We don't know. We haven't even got an answer, and we're still waiting for an answer. I think the parents should know and have the rights to know what's going on and what the school's teaching them and what's our kids learning in there. Thank you.
Thank you. And it is, I'm just going to remind everyone that because it's a non-agendized item, I as a board member may not answer those directly, but some of the items may be addressed in the superintendent report. So with that, we move on to superintendent's comments.
Yeah, let's start with career pathways, and this has been brought up at this meeting before, so I'll just state what we've stated before, which is I'm proud of this district's pathways. The programs that we have here at all of our schools are exceptional. The business trades, the estancia, the medical profession, our students have great opportunities. Can we do more? Always. But I think this district should be proud of their commitment to making sure that there are multiple pathways for our students to realize their dreams. And we are big supporters of this program. In fact, our board president sits on the Coastline ROP board because we care this much about these topics. The special education, I certainly appreciated what Sarah said earlier about the importance of the work. Some of our neediest students and families, the educators who serve them, it's a labor of love. And we are grateful for all of them, certificated, classified, all of the folks, leadership that support our students and their families. Very, very happy that the task force within weeks was up and running, that it's a representative body, that Dr. Jocham has worked with CSEA and NMFT to make sure that our folks are at the table having these important conversations. They've had one meeting. They're going to have many more. And I'm just grateful that they started this ASAP as our colleagues started to bring up some of these issues here and in some of my meetings. And then as it relates to safe routes to school, these trustees talk nonstop about this because it's that important. At each of the meetings with our city liaisons, representatives, this topic comes up. What can we do? What can we do more together? What can we do on our end? Certainly we'll take those things that Jim and the others have brought forward. I met him for coffee and he shared those same things with me, I think my second week on the job. I didn't know what he was showing me. The maps they didn't make sense to me. Now they make a lot more sense. But it's an important topic, getting our kids to and from school safely, making sure they're safe at school. No more important factor to our parents than the safety of their children. No more important factor to us than that same safety. And speaking of safety, you know, we have an obligation to make sure that the material in our libraries is age appropriate. And if there is some suggestion that it isn't, we are obligated to act immediately, to close the library, to search through those books, and then to see where's the process. If there are errors in the process that allowed for something to be there that shouldn't be there, how? So that it doesn't happen again, and also to check other schools. I'm proud that the team acted immediately and started working on that issue, that the principal met with parents right away. Not all of them, of course, but those who met with her to share what they were doing. We'll continue to work on this because, as I said, that is our obligation, and we take it very, very seriously. The communication loop, as soon as they have that information, I'm sure the principal and staff will reach out to the parents and get them into the loop.
Thank you. Now we move on to item 18, community input on agendized items.
We have one.
This is an opportunity for the public to address the board regarding items on the regular meeting agenda. Comments on agenda items are limited to 3 minutes per comment, up to 20 minutes per topic. A speaker may not relinquish his or her time to another person. Speaker cards for items on the discussion action calendar may be held until that item is considered by the board if the speaker prefers.
Thank you. And we have one comment on 20A, so I will do the comments at that time for discussion action. We'll move to 19, consent calendar. May I have a motion to accept the consent calendar?
So moved.
Second. It's been moved by trustee Metoyer, seconded by trustee Yelsey. I'm sorry, did I get the right order? Okay. Moved by trustee Metoyer, seconded by trustee Yelsey. Roll call vote?
Trustee Barto?
Yes.
Trustee Metoyer?
Yes.
Trustee Crane?
Yes.
Trustee Anderson?
Yes.
Trustee Ursulou?
Yes.
Trustee Wygand?
Yes.
Trustee Yelsey?
Yes.
Okay. And now we move to item 20A, approve the recommendation from Newport-Mesa Unified School District Naming Committee to rename the Corona Del Mar High School track to the William Bill Sumner track. Would Ruth Kobayashi like to come up and make her comment?
Good evening. It's really nice to see you all in person for the first time in a long time for me. My name is Ruth Kobayashi. It has been a privilege to encourage this project on behalf of the CDM track community. Coach Sumner is the name and the face of local track, and his dedication to his athletes has impacted thousands of runners of all ages. Thank you to Dr. Smith and Dr. Bauermeister for bringing this to the board and all the staff involved. My family is just one example of young lives touched by Coach Sumner's determination that his athletes believe in themselves and their abilities. Both of my CDM alumni daughters were on the track team, and both were successful multi-sport athletes. While they enjoyed a podium or two, they did not compete at the elite level. And yet Coach Sumner always made them feel that they were important contributors to the team. When our oldest daughter was a freshman, Coach Sumner asked her to step in and run a varsity 400-meter. She was overwhelmed, terrified, with tears in her eyes, and I still today can picture Coach putting his hands on her shoulders, bending over, big height difference, and looked into those eyes and convinced her that she could do it, and she did. I think she may have even scored a point or two for the team, which is what was needed. Earlier today, when I texted her saying that I was going to be here tonight and what this agenda item was, she told me how this beautiful new track has to be named for Coach. Coach Sumner's ability to ensure that all of his athletes are made to feel significant can be life-changing for teens, and it was for mine. There is no one who epitomizes the values of our district, the hopes and dreams of our athletes, and the inspiration to an entire community more than Coach Bill Sumner. Coach Sumner's name on that track will be a reminder of those values, hopes, and that inspiration for generations to come. I respectfully ask you to vote on the naming of Coach William Bill Sumner track. Thank you very much.
Thank you. May I have a motion to approve the recommendation from Newport-Mesa Unified School District Naming Committee to rename the Corona Del Mar High School track to the William Bill Sumner track?
I make a motion. I make a motion to approve the recommendation for the Newport-Mesa Unified School District Naming Committee to rename the Corona Del Mar High School track to the William Bill Sumner track.
And I second it.
It's been moved by Trustee Yelsey and seconded by Trustee Crane. May I have a roll call vote?
Student Board Member Katie Barnes.
Yes.
Trustee Barto.
Yes.
Trustee Matoye.
Yes.
Trustee Crane.
Yes.
Trustee Anderson.
Yes.
Trustee Ursulou.
Yes.
Trustee Wygand.
Yes.
Trustee Yelsey.
Yes.
That's a yes.
Trustee Yelsey had a comment. Oh.
Yeah. First of all, thank you for all the people who came out here for support. And for those who don't know, Coach Sumner is also in the audience. I felt pretty comfortable that this was going to pass and we weren't going to have arguments up here. So I really appreciate him being here, but it's been a long time coming. And I just want to remind people that we use district money to build this track. But if we hadn't used district money, I know Coach Sumner was already meeting in the early 2000s because I went with him to some of his big-time donors. He knows everybody and everybody in this universe, I think. And he went out to those people to try to raise money on his own for this track. So it would have gotten built one way or the other. We were glad that we could take it over and build it as it is now. It's a phenomenal facility, and there's no better person for this to be named after. He's been, as Ruth Kobayashi said, he's been instrumental to so many families. I've known him for about 25 years, but I only knew him because my son started running at CDM. He's become, over that time, a very close family friend. In fact, I tell people, beside my husband and myself, there's no one who's had more influence on my son's life. And he is now turning 40. That tells you how old a lot of us are in here. Nobody who's had more influence on his life than Coach Sumner. And I know a lot of people in this community can say the same thing. So, well-deserved. Congratulations.
Coach, stand up.
Thank you.
That was a nice, easy one.
That was a nice one. All right, we move on to 20. Oh, I'm sorry, Trustee Crane.
Oh, as a family who's been touched by Coach Sumner, because my daughter ran for him, Coach, I think the most, all right, let me rephrase. The characteristic that comes to mind when I think of you is your humility, because you don't ask for anything in return. You just do what you love. and you don't expect anything back. And that's always been something that's always stuck in my mind when I watch you coach. And you can ask my own daughter, she would say the same thing. You inspire because you lead by example, and you don't ever ask for anything in return. So thank you for inspiring our kids.
This has been a really nice meeting.
I know this
Lots of nice things to recognize people for. With that, we move to 21A, adopt resolution number 23-05-22, recognizing May 11th, 2022 as National School Nurse Day. Dr. Jocham.
Yes, thank you. I was able to attend the school nurse luncheon and meeting on School Nurses Day last week, Wednesday, and just to really celebrate the tremendous group of health services staff that we have and nurses that support all of our students in the district. And if you've ever worked in another district or you know of other districts, you definitely know that that we are very blessed to have the quality of health services staff that we have. So I just ask for your support in passing this resolution.
Thank you. May I have a motion to approve?
Motion to approve.
May I have a second?
Second.
Okay. It's been moved by trustee Yelsey, seconded by trustee Ursulou. Roll call vote.
Student Board Member Katie Barnes?
Yes.
Trustee Bartow?
Yes.
Trustee Matoye?
Yes.
Trustee Crane?
Yes.
Trustee Anderson?
Yes.
Trustee Ursulou?
Yes.
Trustee Wygand?
Yes.
Trustee Yelsey?
Yes.
All right, now we move to 21B, adopt resolution number 24-05-22 to approve agreement FCI-SD4-17, amendment number 1 with the Children and Families Commission of Orange County for 2020 through 2023. Would this go to Mr. Trader or?
Yeah, Assistant Superintendent Drake is out ill. He was going to have someone from elementary ed address it if there were questions. I don't see anyone in here from elementary ed.
Lori's
Well,
not here.
did anyone, let's get a motion and a second, and if we have any comments, I guess we'll go from there. May I have a motion to approve?
I'll make the motion, and I believe trustee Ursulou has a comment first.
Okay.
We move in second and then comment.
I second it.
Thank you.
Hi, I'm a commissioner on the First Five Commission in Orange County, so I need to abstain. I just wanted to.
Thank you. Okay, so it's been moved by trustee Anderson, seconded by trustee Yelsey. And we'll do a roll call vote, unless there are any further questions or comments. Okay.
Student Board Member Katie Barnes?
Yes.
Trustee Bartow?
Yes.
Trustee Matoye?
Yes.
Trustee Crane?
Yes.
Trustee Anderson?
Yes.
Trustee Wygand?
Yes.
Trustee Yelsey?
Yes.
Okay, thank you. Moving to 21C, adopt resolution 25-05-22, recognizing May 15th through May 21st, 2022 as Classified School Employees Week.
So
Kristen
moved.
Clark.
Oops, we have to talk first.
Oh, if there's only a report. Okay, we'll go ahead. Moved by trustee Matoye,
Yes.
seconded by trustee Anderson. Any comments or questions? Okay, roll call vote.
Student Board Member Katie Barnes?
Yes.
Trustee Bartow?
Yes.
Trustee Matoye?
Yes.
Trustee Crane?
Yes.
Trustee Anderson?
Yes.
Trustee Ursulou?
Yes.
Trustee Wygand?
Yes.
Trustee Yelsey?
Yes.
Okay, go to 21D, adopt resolution number 26-05-22, affirming May 2022 as National Mental Health Awareness Month for NMUSD. Dr. Jocham.
Thank you. As you can tell by the attire this evening, we are celebrating the Mental Health Month. Trustee Matoye is fashioning last year's fashion as well from our mental health awareness. And
From the mental health collection.
Yes, right.
Yes.
From the mental health collection. Yes. So this is just an opportunity for us to really recognize that we need to pay special attention to mental health. Not only in our schools, but throughout our community. And our SAIL team under Sarah Coley's direction has done a tremendous job in providing school sites with a lot of different resources to, acknowledge mental health, to be on the forefront, to be proactive about mental health, and especially during this month, giving them lots of resources, activities to share with students and staff. And then also there was a virtual 5K, and there's parent education, all related to mental health this month. So we ask your support on this resolution.
I'd like to adopt resolution number 260522, affirming May 2022 as National Mental Health Awareness Month for NMUSD.
Second.
Did you?
She got it in first. We can flip a coin.
Trustee Ursulou seconded. So we have it moved by Trustee Crane, seconded by Trustee Ursulou. And roll call vote.
Student Board Member Katie Barnes?
Yes.
Trustee Barto?
Yes.
Trustee Matoye?
Yes.
Trustee Crane?
Yes.
Trustee Anderson?
Yes.
Trustee Ursulou?
Yes.
Trustee Wygand?
Yes.
Trustee Yelsey?
Yes.
Okay, 21E, adopt resolution 27-05-22, designating the observance of Washington Day on February 20th, 2023, and Lincoln Day on February 21st, 2023. Leona Olson.
Thank you. So this is an annual resolution that we ask the board to approve in order to provide for moving dates around so that we can have the president's recess that everybody loves and holds very dear to themselves. So we ask that the board pass this resolution.
May I have a motion to approve?
I move to adopt Resolution 27-0522, designating the observance of Washington Day on February 20th, 2023, and Lincoln Day on February 21st, 2023.
Second.
It's been moved by Trustee Wygand and seconded by Trustee Crane. Roll call vote.
Student Board Member Katie Barnes?
Yes.
Trustee Barto?
Yes.
Trustee Matoye?
Yes.
Trustee Crane?
Yes.
Trustee Anderson?
Yes.
Trustee Ursulou?
Yes.
Trustee Wygand?
Yes.
Trustee Yelsey?
Yes.
Okay. We go to 21F, adopt resolution 28-05-22, order of biennial trustee election and specifications of the election order.
Yeah, just a traditional thing we do so that folks can get elected. And this just directs the county superintendent of schools to put it on the ballot.
Thank you. May I have a motion?
I move to adopt Resolution 280522, Order of Biennial Trustee Election and Specifications of the Election Order.
Second.
Okay, it's been moved by Trustee Yelsey, seconded by Trustee Matoye. Roll call vote.
Student Board Member Katie Barnes?
Yes.
Trustee Barto?
Yes.
Trustee Matoye?
Yes.
Trustee Crane?
Yes.
Trustee Anderson?
Yes.
Trustee Ursulou?
Yes.
Trustee Wygand?
Yes.
Trustee Yelsey?
Yes.
Informal reports.
Great time of the year. So many exciting things going on. I think this meeting represents that perfectly. The hard work of the team, the students, again, the parents and caregivers. Great time of the year. I had an opportunity to go and sit on a panel for the President's Circle for the United Way. They had the county superintendent as well as Goon Marie, the superintendent from Orange Unified, about the state of education. And had a lot of people come afterwards and just thank the educators in our district for everything they've done in these extremely challenging times. So on behalf of the audience that was there, I want to pass along their thank you to all of you. They don't have any kids in our district, but they recognize what all of you have gone through. Got asked to be on the CSBA judges panel for Golden Bell Awards. I don't need any more assignments. However, I want us to get some golden bells. And so I figured this is a great opportunity. Well, with me here, you've done many, many things without me. Yes, the list is way too long to identify. But here with all of you, and so I want to see what goes on behind the scenes. But it'll be exciting for us to lift up, in all seriousness, the amazing work that our folks do. And there will be lots of things that we'll bring forward. We had our last meeting with the Expanded Learning Opportunity Program folks from CDE, and we were able to share our draft plan. And it's important to know that this plan has been worked on by our staff, but with involvement throughout the district I have my advisory councils, representatives from those councils. Parents have been involved, surveys from folks. We've gone, once again, to our allies, CSCA and MFT, to say, what do you think about these programs? And the group was there, as they said, we're going to try to shoot holes in your draft plan. We presented it, and they said, we got nothing. That's a great plan. In fact, that's a model plan for the state. So we look forward to bringing that back for you to see now and to see the great work that our team is doing. And lest we forget, one of the board's priorities is to improve academic achievement from the 2019 school year. And one of the ways we're going to go about that is through expanding learning opportunities. And I would challenge all of us not to use the acronym ELOP. That doesn't mean anything, right? But expanding learning for students, that means something. Words matter. So I'm excited, as is the team, to share that with you. I wanted to thank the Newport-Mesa Schools Foundation. I was able to go and watch the Jeff Trader show, and that was great. They have to get a mic that works, because I think, 3/4 of your bits were lost amongst table chatter, and they shouldn't have been lost because they were good. But importantly, teachers were recognized for their initiative, and they were rewarded with grants to do exciting things. And so I just, if they're watching, want the foundation to know how much I appreciated what they're doing for so many of our educators. It was very, very generous and necessary. And then, not to embarrass him, but I talk all the time about how great this team is, right? This board, our team, including our community, especially our students. Eduardo told me a while back that he couldn't sit and watch what was happening in Ukraine and not do something. So he told me he was going to Ukraine. And I thought, wait, we can't not have you here. I mean, I guess that's significantly more important, although you 7, 8 are really, really important. But he went there and he did the work. And then he came back here. And I just think that, again, that just represents the character in this district. So, yeah.
Thanks for sharing. It's really great. I'm going to go first for my board reports because I'm going to do it as a legislative report. But I had the honor, joy, privilege to go to the first AXA CSBA coast-to-coast trip to Washington, D.C. And many people have asked why Washington, D.C., when many of the things that we speak about are with our state legislators here. But there is definitely value to showing up to your to someone's office in DC and saying, we're really passionate about the items here. And there are plenty that are important to California and at the federal level right now, which I'll jump into in a second. But another great thing was we got to be in front of the Deputy Secretary of Education, who used to be a superintendent down in San Diego. So she held a lot of California issues near and dear to her heart. And that was a real great opportunity to kind of go through what had worked well with COVID funding, what had not worked well, what had gone well with support, what students actually need, what we're experiencing. And we had the ability to say positive things and suggestions as well. And I think that is very impactful because it was a group of about 150, 200 people, so relatively small. But she heard from about probably 50 of us, so that was great. The things that CSBA had on their agenda that we asked about were regarding universal expanded broadband and extension of ESSER funds, deadline to December 2026. Right now, if you have those funds and you're wanting to spend them, as our district is, on additional learning supports, you don't have until December 2026. You need to spend it sooner. And that is something that it sounds like when we met with Michelle Steele, she was the appointment that we had, her staff had indicated that they recognized that that was a challenge for many districts, so that was helpful. An additional item was nutrition. As many of you know, we've been offering free and reduced lunch for free without qualifications required for the past year and a half, 2 years at this point. they asked that that continue, but that funding also be extended to support that. As many of you know, our district funds that out of our own budget. It sounds like, at least in California, the governor's put forward a free lunch, regardless of qualifications, universal school meals program. The funding reimbursement is there. It's about 25 cents per meal provided, so it's not a huge amount, but it is something. So that's an area for growth, and something that on the federal level sounds like some supports may come into play as well, which would support our district and the whole country. One other thing that we've talked about with our local state legislators is removing the spousal benefits penalty for our Social Security. So what happens is many educators with a spouse that's worked in a Social Security eligible position, they see their benefit reduced to zero. Removing that would be helpful for our retired teachers. And then additional, lots and lots of focus on the data privacy and further cybersecurity bills. It sounds like companies like Apple and other things are taking matters into their own hands and changing the way that people access passwords. So in the future, not too far down the road, it sounds like those companies are working on nobody having passwords, and that would decrease the amount of data theft and data privacy breaches that we see for our students, specifically our students, but obviously everybody. And then the last thing I wanted to share is they have had an increased expansion of broadband access for families who need it, but they are having, as I found, a challenge getting that information out to families. So if you encounter families on your travels, through life that need additional broadband support, there is funding for that available, and you can direct them to that. It's pretty easy. It's probably fairly easy for you all to find. And that was it. There were a couple other ones that were, not as relevant for us. They asked for support for the Secure Rural Schools Act. We are not rural, but we did mention that it was an area that CSBA was interested in as well. And that is what I have.
Busy. Want us to just go?
Let's just go in line.
Trustee Barto, I have a quick question about your report. Yes. When you mentioned broadband, that's like universal universal Wi-Fi, right? Internet access?
Yeah, internet access.
Isn't that kind of a federal movement anyway towards?
It is. It's a federal movement. Regardless, there's extra funding and bills in the federal Congress for those sorts of things. But additionally, California's got a emergency fund specifically for that.
Okay.
As normal, we all went to lots of things between the last board meeting and now. A couple of things I wanted to mention. We had our city liaison meeting in Costa Mesa. One of the things I wanted to touch base on was the Jack Hammett sports field, because anybody that's involved in it knows it's harder than heck to get in and go out because they're expanding the parking and some of the details there. They were hopeful. The one good thing about drought is that we were not delayed because of rain, so that was A+ for not having rain. It was hoped to be finished by the Daily Pilot Cup, which is coming up the first weekend in June. So keep your fingers crossed and drive safely when you're trying to get your children on and off the Jack Hammett Field. The other point that I wanted to make was that we attended the last meeting of the Costa Mesa High School ELAC team, but it was the first one that was in person since 2020. And Principal Haley knows how, and Principal Kwong know how to throw a party, because there was a taco truck and a mariachi band, and it was the most fun ELAC meeting I have ever been to. So I recommend that to all groups, to have ELAC, to feed people and have dancing, and you can have a great meeting. The other part was that we had our last Newport-Mesa Arts Commission meeting last weekend. It was by Zoom. We're hoping that in the fall we have them in person, and that we will have one in the fall, so that any work done over the summer can be relayed to all the teachers. In addition to as many of our arts teachers, visual, performing, digital, are all part of the Arts Commission, we also have our community partners. So it's a very exciting meeting. I know that we're going to have, not only are we having East Bluff Theater this summer, that Corona Del Mar does. We're also having Costa Mesa High School, Deborah Wondercheck from the Arts and Learning is having a program in Costa Mesa right after school gets out, because having things at Costa Mesa in the summer is always a challenge because of the fair. So we have that. I met with the delegates from the Orange County in our Orange County delegate from CSBA meeting. And while we talked about how we really need to have TK funding as a categorical, not just added to the LCFF, which may or may not happen, how we also really need STIRS and PERS support for school districts because it is significant. And how we, if we could, we would write our own budget for the governor to use. But the other part that I brought up was, hey, are any of you having trouble with e-bikes also? And the floodgates opened, and so district-wide e-bikes is it's a convenience and it's a challenge. It's like when your first child gets their driver's license, you go, oh, good, don't have to drive you, but oh my gosh, I am now worried every time you take the car and when you come home. So we are proud to say that Trustee Crane's going to report on what our district is doing with that, along with the other two cities. Take it, Trustee Crane.
All right, thank you. There is the Community Alliance for Bike Safety. The acronym is CABS. We love acronyms in education. And this alliance has actually been doing a lot of progress forward. A couple of action items we have achieved in the last month or so. We met with NMUSD Director Sarah Coley, and NMUSD is completely behind educating our students in bike and walking safety. Example would be looking forward into the fall. We're going to make sure that the handbook is highlighting safety when it comes to bike and walkability. Creating an in-house safety committee of site leadership and principals, because local sites have different needs in different areas. That would be an example. Already at Ensign, we've added another exit area for bike riders in order to mitigate the risk of anything happening. And CDM is educating and redirecting students to park bikes in the bike racks instead of locking them to the gate. The beautiful fences that we built. Costa Mesa, in partnership with the Costa Mesa Active Transportation Committee, sponsored 9 events because May is Bike Safety Month, and they basically went to the school sites little offsite and then showed the community, the kids and their parents, how to get to school safely on bikes and a walking route. So that the Newport Beach Police Department is going to partner with Harbor Council PTA on June 6th at their meeting, and they're gonna do a PowerPoint on bike safety. So a lot of forward progress. We appreciate PTA's partnership, and I know that that's gonna be moving forward into the future as well. So that's where we're heading. We definitely are in support of this because we care for our kids, and safety is also a wellness issue. So, and speaking of wellness, I have a quick report on the Community Advisory Committee, which is part of Student Services. And Student Services has been busy this month because they sponsored the Mental Health Awareness Month with many events, including a parent education series. There are 2 more left on May 18th and May 25th. And of course, we also were able to realize how fortunate we are to have so many amazing nonprofit partners that elevate our community, our kids, and support the staff. So a lot of gratitude there. Lastly, I would like to thank all of our classifieds because it's Classified Appreciation Week. Thank you for all that you do. You are definitely a part of our formula, and we appreciate you greatly. And then tonight we had the honor of approving the register that welcomes Jake Haley to Corona Del Mar High School as principal, so beginning July 1st. So welcome, Jake.
Lucky you.
Thank you. I'll follow up on the classified part. Last weekend we had Love Costa Mesa Day, and this year we were able to have a lot more sites than we have in the past. One thing that stood out was Lynn Anderson, who is the nutrition services supervisor at Wilson and has been for a really long time. As we know, there's a lot of legislation about school meals. And our state senator, David Min, was there to give out free helmets for the bike safety. And his education person looked at our cafeteria. Lynn walked us through, showed us everything. And it was just a really great opportunity for somebody who maybe would never know what a school campus's cafeteria or a setup looks like. So Lynn was amazing. And she was there on her, she wasn't working on Saturday. She was there to plant flowers outside of all of the teachers' classrooms. So that was great. And at Whittier, we did several things to redo the garden and the green spaces. And thank you, Lance, for providing mulch and other supplies. In the past, all the volunteers have had to do that. And there are several projects at Pomona and Ray and other schools. And next year it's on May 20th. I also just wanted to kind of highlight what Flo was sharing about Safe Routes to School. The first 2 weeks of May, we had bike to school days at Wilson, Whittier, Sonora, and I think 3 others. So hopefully that will continue to grow. It was awesome to see parents riding bikes with their kids, the police officers coming alongside, and I've actually seen now several more kids riding their bikes in the neighborhood with their helmet, which has been awesome to see. I was able to attend our recent DWAC, and I love the way that we are doing it now where it's a little bit different since it's virtual rather than being in person. So different nonprofit partners would share what they have that's available for the community, and then people were able to go into breakout rooms and ask specific questions in real time. And so that was an awesome opportunity, including Melinda Hogue. That room was full. There's so many resources there. So that was really great. And then also Trustee Ursula and I went to see Clue, the play at Estancia, which was one of my favorite books movies when I was younger. So it was a great production. And then I just wanted to share 2 things that are coming up. On Friday is the Victoria Elementary Spring Fling from 4 to 8. We've talked in the past about doing more like marketing and letting people know what's going on in our neighborhood schools. Victoria does an amazing job of letting people experience what their school community is. All of the people, there's so many partners that are involved with it. So if anyone lives in the Freedom Home neighborhood, Victoria is amazing. Please come to the Spring Fling.
What was that date? I was going to go.
It's 4 to 8 on Friday. Mm-hmm. Yes. And then also tomorrow night is the Les Miller Awards, celebrating our high-achieving students in Costa Mesa.
I have a question for you. Do you feel that Zoom has been a more accessible format for doing DLAC than having it here, or do you still like it?
From what I've seen, I think it would be great to do it probably every month on Zoom, but then also having a quarterly in-person gathering, because the parents, there's childcare that is available during DLAC, but I think just with transportation and people's time and work schedules, it's often easier for people to do Zoom on their phone or wherever they are to do the DLAC meeting, but then I think the community piece of being together and talking is also really valuable.
Great, thanks. That's what I was gathering, but I wanted to confirm.
Yeah, good question.
Yes, thank you. So similar, yes, I went to the Clue play at Estancia, which was awesome with Trustee Anderson. I went to Science Night at California Elementary, which was such a great night. Ms. De Los Santos had a bunch of students from Estancia with their microscopes to teach the little kids all this different science stuff, so that was exciting. Also at the DLAC meeting, I was in the Latino Health Access breakout room, and that was really great because there's so many resources that they have. I know we have current partnerships with them, but they also have parent advocacy trainings that would be really great for us to partner with them on in the future. There's another play coming up for those of you that love plays, and anyone that wants to see a Nick St. Royal production coming up this weekend is going to be the 101 Dalmatians at California Elementary. So everyone should get their tickets if you don't have them, $4. So that is another great one. And as mentioned earlier, I'm on the Children and Families Commission for Orange County, so we get to spend some of our time focused on the policies and programs that support our youngest kids, 0 to 5, to get them school ready. And also we get the privilege of advocating for certain bills like the TK and whole child policies that will help our district ultimately. So that is always great. And then last, the Mental Health Month. I love that our district focuses on that, and I'd just like to highlight that the built environment is one of the largest social determinants of health on how your mental health ends up positively or negatively. It can be influenced by your access to regular green space. So thank you, Dane, for mentioning the Estancia students that are concerned about the front lawn, because we all want the theater desperately, but to not acknowledge that social determinant of health would be a big mistake. Thank you.
All right. Well, I attended a very wonderful event that raised a lot of money for Newport Harbor High School, but it also made me feel very inadequate. It was the Newport Harbor home tour, and it was 7 amazing houses that you can only, walk through and see how wonderful they look. But it raised about $130,000 for the Newport Harbor Educational Foundation, and it was just amazing to see the amount of people in the community that came out to go and see homes, because why not? It's great to snoop around, but we couldn't take pictures. We tried, but it's just a wonderful event every year, and how much the community then sponsors. So you'll have your home builders, your interior designers, and just construction folks that will come out and donate money, donate their time, all to provide money for the Educational Foundation. And it was just a well done event this year, and it was sold out. So that was wonderful. Teacher Appreciation Week, and the last week I think we talked about the Newport-Mesa Schools Foundation Awards dinner, and that was amazing. But it was just wonderful to see all of the teachers and parents being so appreciative, I guess you would say, obviously, of their teachers that week. And I saw it across the district, and just how wonderful our teachers were or are, and how much, I think about when we started this year, very stressful, to how we end this year, and hopefully in a positive situation where we're so happy to come through this crazy year that is actually more normal than anything, and to have a wonderful, wonderful summer break. So there's a million end of the years activities, and I want to say, all of the award ceremonies we'll be going to in the next couple weeks, all the graduations. It made this job for me last year, seeing that a lot better than it had been. So I just want to say thank you for that. It's wonderful to see our students achieve everything. As you can see up here, everyone's laughing, because it's not an easy task this last couple years being up on the board. So this is just wonderful to just be here and see all your achievements. Thank you.
There may have been a lot of people here tonight who normally don't come to our meetings, and they probably think, wow, this is all you do at your meeting is like recognize people and have celebrations. But it was a pretty great meeting, I think. If we could have something like this all the time, it's great. Just a couple of things that haven't been mentioned. As the Les Miller Awards are tomorrow night, the Newport Beach Chamber of Commerce hosted their scholarship awards a couple of weeks ago. And in both these situations, they honor the top, I think, well, for Newport Beach, it's the top 15 students, at both of them. Academic students at Newport Harbor and CDM. And as you'll see tomorrow night too, these kids are just so impressive, what they've accomplished, what they plan on doing. Some of these majors I never heard of when I was in high school. It's quite impressive. So we all should be proud of all our graduates. Not only those people, but there are only 30 kids that were represented. There are so many more that they could have chosen who are in the same situations. So we have a lot to be proud of. And then just one shout out to somebody who's not here tonight, but you can share with her, Sarah. Kristen Henry and her team, her Corona Del Mar team, came to the Corona Del Mar Zone Pack last week. And boy, did they blow everybody away. I mean, they're pretty impressive when they present everything that is going on in our district, especially they went through Ruler. We went through some exercises ourselves. And the response is just unbelievable. As I was talking to Wes the other day, I said there were some principals there, and when they presented some of the ruler activities, they go, yeah, I had this example at my school, and it was incredible how the kids responded. And 3 principals did this, and I sat there and I went, wow, you should have recorded this for PR for your program, because, and it was unrehearsed. It was not something that was planned. But everybody is so excited about that. And in everything we talk about it, whether it's Community Alliance or you talk about what, Katie, when you talk about what the students want for next year, it revolves around more emotional support, more of the helpful things that we can do. And her area really does that well. So a shout out to Kristen Henry.
I agree with you. Sometimes from our standpoint, we forget how stressful high school is. I mean, it wasn't something that we'd wake up in the morning and go, okay, going to high school now. I mean, from this standpoint, yeah, okay, that would be nice. I'd like to be able to go. But not now. I want to go back to high school when I was in high school, because your high school is way different than what my high school looked like, and I don't know if I could make it.
I just wanted to add, I forgot to congratulate our avid 8th grade standouts that we saw at Angel Stadium, and also from Tewinkle, Christopher Garibay. I think that's half of his last name, so I apologize. But anyways, he was the winner of a $10,000 scholarship for when he eventually does go to college, and it was, he's in 8th grade, so it's there waiting for him when he graduates. We also had an Estancia student recognized for that as well, all avid students, and it's really impressive for them. It's one of my favorite events to watch these little tiny 8th graders go out on the big Angels baseball field and get their baseball jersey from the baseball team. It's a really wonderful moment for them, and it's great to see all the community support that they have cheering them on.
Before we end the meeting, I noticed that there are students in the audience, and are you from a particular class or school?
It's like, who made you come here? No.
Well, you've been to our meetings before, but where are you from? Identify yourselves. All right. All right, well, welcome, Mustangs. All right, excellent.
And Katie, did you want to throw anything in with all the other reports? Or you good? Okay.
Blatant plug for Costa Mesa High School Middle School play Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Matilda Jr. 2 Matildas this year.
Okay. Good. All right, with that, we adjourn at 8:25. Thank you very much.
Student Board Member
Thanks for coming.